Hello, and welcome to this new series of videos on SoftwareAG Cloud and Devops. In this first video, I will show you how you can automate the installation and configuration of complete SoftwareAG webMethods environments in the cloud using a full infrastructure as code approach. I'm Fabian Senglier, Chief Solutions Architect with SoftwareAG Government Solutions here in the US, and I will be leading you through this. First, I'll quickly go through the general concepts and tools that I put together for this demo. And then I'll put it all in practice with the actual creation of a complete SoftwareAG API management stack on Microsoft Azure. One last note, I'll go fairly quickly through all this to keep this short and to the point. But don't worry, all the code I use here will be available on GitHub so you can look at it on your own time and at your own speed. Okay, let's get started. Here is in picture what we're trying to do. We're trying to go from a blank cloud canvas to a full working and secure cloud web methods environment with minimal or no human interaction at all. And I don't mean to re-explain well-known concepts here, but if you're not well-versed in the DevOps and cloud automation world, you may be asking right now, why automation and infrastructure as code, right? After all, it's true, you could create this all manually, directly from the Azure portal. And to me, the simple answer is consistency, predictability, traceability, and security. And all of this coupled with speed of execution. So there are a lot of benefits to infrastructure as code. Of course, there is a lot of work to be done upfront, but the benefits are immense as you move forward. And the reason is that if you look at this picture, there are quite a bit of resources to be created. Multiple networks, subnets, virtual machines, firewall rules, load balancing rules, etc. And in addition to that, we also have to install the software, configure the software, tune the operating systems of the machines, and do all sorts of other things. And I can guarantee that two different persons creating all this, even if they follow a detailed script, there will be discrepancies at the end. And things will get forgotten, misconfigured, and the environment will just not be exactly the same between the two persons who installed it. And so with infrastructure as code, everything is stored in source control as you would with any application development project. So nothing can be forgotten or misconfigured at execution time, resulting in greater predictability. Every changes can be traced, and so we know who committed the change, and as such, we can review it and even ask that person, hey, why did you add that virtual machine? Or maybe why did you change that firewall rule? It doesn't need to be changed, right? And so all this can be reviewed, resulting in better compliance and security, right? There are a lot of other things we could say about this, but that's my take on why this is so important. To achieve the provisioning in this demo, I'll be using a combination of well-known open source tools, Terraform, Ansible, coupled with webMethods' very own auto-provisioning, auto-configuration tool called webMethod Command Central. Why different tools, you may ask? Well, we have three main problems on our hands when it comes to automating the full environment. First, how to automate the creation of cloud artifacts in Azure or in AWS or in Google Cloud. Then, secondly, how to automate the configuration of the servers. So once you auto-provisioned the VMs and everything else in the cloud, you have to configure the OS, the operating system. And how do you do that in an automated way? And then thirdly, how do you automate the installation and configuration of the webMethods software itself? So once you have the machines ready and configured and tuned, we will need to install and configure the webMethods software. And so the three tools on this page are best at delivering DevOps and automation solutions for each of these questions and problems. Of course, I don't mean to start a tool war here, right? And aside from webmethod Command Central, which is the required tool, in my opinion, to properly install SoftwareAG webMethods products, it is possible to achieve cloud provisioning with other tools, like using CloudFormation for AWS or maybe Azure Resource Manager for Azure, right? So there are other tools you could choose instead of Terraform. And similarly, there are other tools you could choose instead of Ansible, such as Chef or Puppet. So your choice, but in this demo, I'll demonstrate Terraform, Ansible, and Command Central. And now I want to show you how each of these tools are going to behave and what they will do to the environment. So here we are with our environment where we have a management plane that contains our Terraform server, our Ansible server, and our Command Central server, right? So those three tools are ready to go and will each perform their task. So step one, Terraform is going to auto-create the complete cloud infrastructure. So really think about it. It's all the VMs or virtual machines in Azure. It's the different networks, the subnets, the routes, the load balancers, the storage, the DNS. There is a lot of things going on, and everything can be scripted in Terraform to essentially do that over and over again with extreme predictability, like I mentioned in one of the previous slides. Step two, Ansible. Essentially, Ansible is going to prepare the servers so they are ready for webMethods installation. What does prepare means? It really means installing the software packages that may be needed on the servers, the operating system tunings, the connectivity to other servers, the firewalls, whatever that may be, that needs to be applied on the operating systems of the server. Step three, that's going to be the turn of Command Central. And what we're going to do in the demo and what I'll show you is that Ansible is going to be the one telling Command Central, okay, go ahead and start installing the software. But Command Central will be the one really performing the installation, right? And so, like I mentioned before, Command Central has the deep ability to not only install the product, but configure the various items within each product so that they work like you want them to work. And then finally, step four, it's really the post-installation config and verification, right? And that's back to Ansible to simply do things like set up the Linux services so our webMethod products can auto-start if the machine restarts. Or maybe it is about do some post-tuning items once the software is installed, right? So there is various steps that needs to be done afterwards once the SoftwareAG webMethods product is installed, and Ansible is going to be in charge of that to close the loop and finalize our installation. And there you have it for the concepts and tools that we will be using to effectively provision our webMethods environment in the cloud in an automated and infrastructure as code fashion. In the next part 2 video, I will put all these concepts and tools into action and show you my infrastructure as code project and the full auto provisioning of a clustered webMethods API management stack within Azure. That's it. I hope this first introductory video was useful, and can't wait to see you on part 2 video for the actual demo. Thanks.